Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. As if TikTok wasn't in any more shit, here comes
Minnesota!
Suing their ass because they claim that, well, it preys on young people with addictive algorithms. I got the TikTok virus. What am I talking about? Well, let's take a look through the fucking news and find out. I'm keeping that in. I don't give a shit. Yeah, that's right. Minnesota is suing TikTok because it's alleging that it preys on young people with an addictive algorithm, which, I mean, does it not? Where is the falsehoods in any of that lawsuit? It most definitely does. I mean, the app was literally proven to be a literal keylogger app. Yeah, that's right. If you use the app's external browser and any of your information in it, TikTok keylogs that shit. Yeah. No, TikTok isn't a bad application. No, it's not Chinese spyware. No. It's not a keylogger app. It's not an app that spies on you, no. It's not an app that feeds you, anti-fucking American propaganda, right? Because let's face it, it's a pro-China app. The app is littered with a bunch of pro-Chinese propaganda, brainwashing people here in America and all across the fucking world, right? Pretty much the Chinese government has a stranglehold over the TikTok algorithm and can push whatever the fuck they want. And that's even pushing terrible shit on children. And the amount of children that have done stupid shit because of TikTok's algorithm is just, But we got an article here from the AssociatedPress.com. I'm going to give us a little bit more context and info on what the fuck we're dealing with. Minnesota on Tuesday joined a wave of states suing TikTok, alleging the social media giant preys on young people with an addictive algorithm that traps them into becoming compulsive consumers of its short videos. Oh, no, it does. No. It does more than just that. It brainwashes children into believing false information about the world as well. And, well, it pretty much turns children into absolute literal fucking demons. Like, what more evidence do we need? As I sip my Dr. Pepper. I don't know why I did that. I'm leaving that in. But think about it for a second here. I mean, the shit that children are consuming is literally brain rot, brainwashing content. You see all these young kids. I seen a Hello Haley video about this. It was a Sephora trend, right? Because young girls were seeing pretty much Sephora products, makeup routines, and stuff like that. And it was pretty much programming young little girls' minds that I need adult makeup products. I need to be glamored in makeup 24/7. I need to look like the pretty TikTok girls. That's the kind of shit that the TikTok algorithm pushes onto children. And let's see, what other bullshit has it put? The Kia Boys, remember that? Supposed fucking... That's not even a challenge, bro. That's just a straight up fucking crime. Yes, this application also brainwashes our fucking children into committing crimes. It literally turns them into fucking juvenile pieces of shit. Now, if you think about it, you can mainly blame the fucking parents for this, for not monitoring what the fuck their kids do on the internet. And that's something parents need to do a lot better of a fucking job of doing is, well, monitoring what the fuck your kids do on the internet. The amount of kids that died doing stupid shit from TikTok. Like, TikTok literally spawned the fucking Tide Pod Challenge. Like, come on. It literally made fucking children think it was okay to fucking eat Tide Pods. Come on. Oh. And I'm not even gonna mention the gruesome shit that people call a challenge. Oh, the devious licks challenge. Literally stealing fucking property from schools and public places. TikTok is literally turning our fucking children into criminals. I'm gonna say it. Minnesota's got a fucking case here. They involve all the shit, all the trends, and all that. I'm sorry, Minnesota and all the other states that are suing. I'm gonna look that up real quick because I'm curious to see who the other states are that are suing. They got a case. They have a fucking case. Look at the shit that's happened to children because of TikTok alone. Okay, so I have right here, in front of me. You guys can see my desktop. I forgot. There's no porn on there. By the way, check out your American Truck Simulator. Oh my god, so much porn stat. No, I'll keep that shit on the pooter. Fuck that. You know? Oh, that's the CCHL logos. Look at me. I'm keeping all this in. Okay, there we go. Now I have it pulled up on my screen. Okay, so the other states, as I hit my mic, in addition to Minnesota suing, are New York and California and the District of Columbia. Other states in the lawsuit include Illinois, Kentucky, Louisiana, Massachusetts, baby. I love my governor. She's fucking one of the best fucking governors out there. I'm going to say it. She knows what's up. Mississippi, North Carolina, New Jersey, Oregon, South Carolina, Vermont, and Washington are also part of the multi-state lawsuit. So those other states also see the bullshit as well. And the article goes on to read, this isn't about free speech, which it's not. And that's one of the excuses that TikTok is trying to use against the TikTok ban, actually, in general as well. Bringing that up, free speech and all that. Like, one of TikTok's main arguments is that this is, the ban in general is violating their free speech. Right? So I had to throw that in there because hearing this isn't about free speech, honestly, again, no, it's not. And again, considering free speech is one of TikTok's main arguments, yeah, they got no ground to stand on that. I'm sure they're gonna holler. Yeah, see, the Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison knows. Allison? I'm gonna go with Allison. But no. Attorney General Keith knows, man. They fucking know that that's, again, gonna be one of their main fucking arguments, is that a violation of our First Amendment. Motherfucker, your country doesn't even know what a First Amendment is. Your fucking country doesn't even know what the fuck free speech is. So maybe learn what the fuck it is before trying to speak on it, you know? But I'm sure they're going to holler that Minnesota, I can talk. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison said at a news conference, it's actually about depiction, manipulation, and mispresentation. Hey, I was close. I'm Gary, he can't read. This is about a company knowing the dangers and the dangerous effects of its product, but making and taking no steps to mitigate those harms or inform users of the risks. Because if they do that, then they can't have a controlled propaganda machine, right? See, what Attorney General Keith don't realize, though, is that if TikTok does take those steps and try to mitigate that stuff, then, well, they're also mitigating their algorithm and their ability to push any kind of propaganda they want to onto children or anyone in general that uses TikTok. So you know, article goes on to read, the lawsuit filed in state court alleges that TikTok is violating Minnesota laws against deceptive trade practices and consumer fraud. It allows a flurry of lawsuits filed by more than a dozen states last year alleging that the popular short film app is designed to be addictive to kids, which it is, and harms their mental health, which it does. Minnesota's case brings a total to about 24 states, Ellison's office said, which that is true. The amount of harm that TikTok has caused children alone in terms of even mental health, right? And that basically stems back from the whole, following trends and trying to be trendy. I'm going to shout out Hello Haley again for this, because I remember in one of her other videos, remember the Stanley Cup trend? Remember that? Well, in one of those, when her video talking about the Stanley Cup trend, she basically shows a video of this little girl. Well, I guess of this parent telling the story of how this little girl brought a fake Stanley Cup into school and she was being bullied for it. Right? Again, this is what TikTok has done to our youth. If you don't got the latest, greatest Stanley Cup, then you're a fucking loser. Is pretty much what the TikTok algorithm is programming children to think. You know? It's pretty much... It's toxic, and it is damaging to a child's mental health. And it definitely is addictive. Because the other day, I went to Taco Bell, right? You know, get a little snack, a little burrito, right? And I'm standing there waiting for my order. You know, I get curious when I'm at McDonald's, Burger King, or something. I like to look in the back because, you know, you don't really get to see what goes on too much in the back, right? And then this DoorDash driver pulls up and basically immediately just walks straight up to the counter, you know, confirms his order, whips his phone right the fuck out and starts scrolling through TikTok. I'm like, bro, you're sick, man. You're fucking sick. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it. You are a sick mental person if you need to pull out your fucking phone no matter where you are. Like, if you're just standing there waiting for just a couple minutes, embrace the scenery around you. You know, you never know when that scenery is gonna change. Oh, I don't care. Oh, who cares? You know, you never know what could happen around you. You never know what good or bad thing could happen. You're just too busy. You know? I hope Minnesota and the other states who sued win this case, because I'm sorry. They have a fucking case. They do. Article goes on to read, the lawsuit filed in state court alleges that TikTok is violating Minnesota laws against deceptive trade practice and consumer fraud. Follows a flurry of lawsuits filed by more than a dozen states last year alleging the popular short-form video app is designed to be addictive to kids and harms their mental health. Minnesota case brings a total of about 24 states, Ellison's office said. Many of the earlier lawsuits stemmed from a nationwide investigation into TikTok launched in 2022 by a Presbyterian coalition of attorneys generals from 14 states into the effects of TikToks on young users' mental health. Allison, a Democrat, said Minnesota waited while it did its own investigation. Shane Padden, a middle school health teacher in Roseville area, school district, joined Ellison, saying he has witnessed a correlation between increased TikTok use and irrefutable spike in student mental health issues. And you want to know what's funny? By the way, excuse my shitty reading. Is a lot of schools are now starting to ban phones. Which, good. Because it's clear that phones are becoming a problem for children in the classroom. It's clear that applications like TikTok and, you know, I'm even throw it in there. YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, any kind of short form fucking content has pretty much rotted our children's brain and pretty much taken the ability to learn valuable information away. Pretty much to learn anything. I've seen many videos of teachers calling students out for having such a low reading level. You want to know what is contributing to this low reading level and low phones, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, short form content in general. No. And the main excuses, right? The main excuses, oh, what if I have an emergency? What if I need to call my parent? Teachers at the front of the room. They have a phone right next to them. You can simply use that. You don't need your phone in a classroom. I'm sorry, you don't. You know, I get that there's only so much a teacher can do, but it's like if you're having a problem and you need to contact someone, teachers got plenty of resources up at the front of the room to do that. You don't need your phone. Like, I'm sorry, if you're a person saying, oh no, I need my, you're mentally ill and you're brain rotted. You know? And you're a waste of space on this earth. Because again, keep in mind, this is our future. You know? Article goes on to read, including depression, anxiety, anger, and lowered self-esteem, and a decrease in attention spans as they seek out the quick gratification that its short videos offer. Yeah, it's the dopamine rush that these kids are looking for. They want to get that quick dopamine hit. They're like, oh, yeah, you know? The lawsuit comes while President Donald Trump is still trying to broker a deal to bring the social media platform, which is owned by China's ByteDance, under American ownership over concerns about the data security. Which, let's face it, we all know the U.S. government will use this as a way to harvest American citizens' data. Like, come on. Data security of its 170 million American users. While Trump campaigned on banning TikTok, he also gained more than 15 million followers on the platform since he started sharing videos on it. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the White House also created a fucking TikTok account. Can you believe that shit? No matter who ultimately owns TikTok, Ellison said it must comply with the law. TikTok disputed Minnesota's allegations. Of course they fucking did. The lawsuit is based on misleading and inaccurate claims that fail to recognize robust safety measures TikTok has voluntarily implemented. Fucking shit. Bullshit. 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 Robust safety. Where? Bitch, where? TikTok is voluntarily implemented to support the well-being of our community. Bitch, where? Bitch, where? Bitch, where? Where? Bullshit. Company spokesperson Nathaniel Brown said in a statement, teen accounts on TikTok come with 50 plus features and settings designed to help young... Yeah, okay, where? People safely express themselves, discover... What? Bruh. Oh, and get this shit, right? Yeah, through our family pairing tool, parents can view or customize 20 plus content in privacy settings, including screen time, content filters, and our time away feature to pause a teen's access to our app has been added. Yet parents still don't use it. Or kids just find a way around it. Come on. Minnesota is seeking a declaration that TikTok's practices are deceptive, which they are, unfair, or fucking a retard moment. Sorry, retard moment. Big word Mosh never seen. Unconscionable under state law, a permanent injunction against those practices, and up to $25,000 for each instance in which a Minnesota child has accused TikTok. Ellison wouldn't put a total on that, but said it's a lot. He estimated that hundreds of thousands of Minnesota kids have TikTok on their devices. We're not trying to shut them down, but we're trying to insist that they clean up their act, Ellison said. There are legitimate uses of the product like TikTok, but like all things, they have to be used properly and safely. I'm reading all this you know, I'm leaving all this in. I don't give a fuck, bro. You know, bro, I don't give a fuck. I'm leaving all this in me. I don't give a fuck. Don't boom hour, man. You know, man, Minnesota, no, you know, it's also among, you know, man, among dozens of states in the U.S. there, man, you know. That have sued Meta platforms for allegedly building futures into Instagram and Facebook that addict. Mark Zuckerberg, a fucking blick at Shitterberg. You know. The messaging service Snapchat and the gaming platform Roblox are also facing lawsuits by some other states alleging harm to kids. Oh boy. The Roblox drama. Ooh. Yeah, that's a different video for a different day, but so I'm reading this caption about the writer who wrote this article, Steve Karnowski. Karnowski covers politics and government from Minnesota for the Associated Press. He also covers the outgoing fallout from the murder of George Floyd. Why the fuck did they need to add that? I don't know. But yeah, you know, gotta love it. Gotta fucking love TikTok. I honestly hope it gets banned. It's nothing more than a toxic application that children should nowhere be near. That Mosh cannot talk. But it's an application that kids should not be near. It's I don't know, man. Anyways, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that's going to do it for this motherfucking video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had an SML video planned for today. But instead, this came up in the news. Also, Moshcast YT. Go subscribe. I'm cooking up a new episode. I'm probably going to record it this weekend. Either Friday or this weekend. One of those days. Moshcast YT. Go subscribe. That's the brand new podcast. I'm retiring this and that. It's been years since I made an episode, and I thought, you know, why make an episode of a podcast that I have not made in fucking years? Let's just start a new one, rebrand, and, you know, since I've rebranded to fully J-Mosh now, you know, why not just call it the Moshcast and retire the this and that name? So go subscribe. Moshcast YT. It'll also be available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all that good shit. Where you get your motherfucking podcast. Yeah, let's pass Joe Rogan. You know? Anyways, I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one. Peace!